fuck up. It's time to talk business. Jared Taylor, Matt Best, and Evan Hafer proudly present Blackhearted. Sponsored by BlackRifle Coffee Company and Arson Wave.
Whoa!
Oh,
Fuck! There's people watching us.
there's a ton of people watching us.
How
so
are we going to do the things that you and I normally do in the sanctity of our own studio?
typically what happens, I'm just going to explain this to everybody, which is Jared and I do this podcast tandem. We just like we do everything. Shower, shit. Everything that we do is
Yeah.
fucking tandem.
Have you ever seen a spider shit?
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course we watch the same video. Because everything's tandem.
Oh, well, if you are new to the show, we are Blackhearted. We are a business podcast. We have some business background here.
We got a couple.
A little bit. We got some business in the audience, too. We got shoes, cigars. Who else is here? Warfighter Tobacco, Whoopee Shoes.
More importantly, where is our original server? Where did she go?
Why are you so concerned?
She was hot. And not my type, but hot.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Duke Fatmouth.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord Hot
Or,
Dog.
as we call him, the giant bald baby.
He's a giant bald baby.
Yep.
Feel free to disrespect him as much as possible tonight.
There are consequences for that.
Not really.
But we have a real special guest with us tonight. God, you look good. I think you're one of the best looking guests we've had.
yeah.
Oh, well, I mean,
for
I'm down to
for
make
sure.
out anytime you want, bro. Any of you dudes, I'm down. It's not even cheating at this point.
No.
That's a blanket statement, too.
I love it.
Down to
Let's
just
do it.
just a dude that's down to kiss.
Only dudes.
Oh, seriously? So dudes only?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
dudes
it.
dudes only.
Dudes
obviously.
only, please.
So if you don't know, this is TJ Lavin. He's got between 5 and 8 gold
Should-
medals in action sports.
Should be 10.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I crash. You know what I mean? It
Right.
sucks.
But the story is amazing. From some of the stuff that we talked about today, and we'll get into that shortly. And also, you know, he's been doing how many seasons?
19 seasons.
Shut the fuck up.
19
Yeah,
seasons.
19 seasons of the challenge on MTV, which is really way too many seasons for anybody to do anything. But I love it, so I'm just gonna keep doing it until I'm done.
That's awesome. No,
fucking
yeah,
awesome.
So
I
you
mean,
started doing
Simpsons and South Park. I think is the only thing else that has gone
Right.
19 seasons.
I mean,
Bro, you're
Friends ended at 9.
not even close.
What?
They
The Hoff.
Stop.
David Hasselhoff.
Can you cut his mic off, please, Evan?
Longest
Just
running show.
Just
Baywatch.
unplug Orange from the back.
Baywatch was the longest running show.
It was.
No, it
It's
wasn't.
29 seasons, my show. So I don't know if it's the longest running or if it's the shortest. Whatever it is, I did 19 of them, and I'm pretty happy about it.
So you started
It's
doing that when you were
crazy.
20 years old?
28. 28 years old, and I've been doing it for 12 years.
Oh, 12. Okay, 12.
yeah. So that makes me 40.
When?
Fuck.
As of
40.
2017 or 16?
December 7th.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
January
you know what?
29th.
Happy
Today-
birthday.
Today, while I was at his house, I
Thank you,
saw a
sir.
very nice 40th birthday present that you got from your original manager. It
was pretty cool.
it was
Hey,
a-
Scott from. There's that person right there that.
This
yeah,
one
that
right
one,
here.
That one person.
Not the original one, but the new one.
the new one. The new one needs
Do you
to
know?
come over here.
Do you
and
know
say
the
hello.
code word? It's level up.
Oh, level up.
Level up.
Level up.
A level up, please.
Just roll
Being a
with it.
Southerner, I
Level
like
up.
to use my own code word, and that's
Level up.
please. Please?
Stop.
You
There's a
stop.
lot of other things you do down there in the South that we're not going to talk about because we have guests.
Name one.
All
Say
right,
it.
so we're gonna have to pause just for a drink. order.
Okra.
That's disgusting. No, I'm with you. Fuck that shit. Fuck okra. Oh.
Nobody listened to the drink order that I'm about ready to give.
What do you? Yeah, give her the drink order.
Make sure
No.
it has
give
an
her,
umbrella.
give her,
really hate okra.
give it to
No.
her in the mic, please.
No, absolutely not.
I would
Diet.
like a gin and tonic, please, ma'am. Please and thank you.
My favorite
Yeah.
thing about this is that everybody that downloads this on iTunes has to listen to you order a drink.
Yeah, like the most insignificant person in our.
I know.
I
That's
know.
that's why I said you don't have to be nice to him.
No.
You don't even have to not like throttle him.
I will bribe your nicety. I have a hot dog.
Oh,
for you.
look at what we have here,
Ooh.
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, what is that? What is in there?
Lord Hot Dog being presented with.
a gift from the Duke of Fatmouth.
Well, I'm not a man that's going to pass up a dog.
You did earlier. The other type of dog, my friend.
Right. All right.
So
let's get into this.
Let's get into
JT.
TJ.
Let's get into it.
So I want
love
to
it.
go. I want to go. The story you told me today that was really funny was about you watching the very first X Games ever on TV.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Okay, so it's 1995. I just graduated high school. X Games wasn't even there was no such thing as X Games. And all of a sudden I'm watching the first ever X Games in Rhode Island, and I'm like, man, like I really feel like I could beat these guys. And I knew that in my heart of hearts, I could beat these dudes. And that's like kind of like a dude saying that they could beat up a UFC fighter.
Well,
it's just never going to happen.
I don't know if that's. I think there's too many variables in that because I think with BMX and action sports, like if you can do a trick that's crazier or more or better than what they're doing on TV. With a fight, it's more like there's too many variables there.
Yeah,
I can beat that guy up. But with this,
It's more like a game of horse.
Okay.
What?
A game of pool or
You
horse.
never played sports.
Yeah. If you're better at pool, you're just
Yeah.
like, I got these guys.
I got these guys. So, yeah, so I saw that, and I was like, man, I feel like I got these dudes. But I didn't even say anything. And then all of a sudden, the neighborhood kids after, like, all my boys, they were like, man, you really should get into those big contests. Like, you could win those things. And I was like, really? And I tried to play humble, but I knew in the heart of hearts I had it, man. And then so I talked to this guy, Nick Herda, who spent a lot of money at the ABA, and he was like, hey, I got this kid. I want to put him in the contest. And he said, all right, cool. And he hooked the dude up, and then all of a sudden there was 20 pros and me. And then ended up going to the contest in Oklahoma City. And I remember on the flight, on the way there, I was like, man, if I actually win this thing, I think it'll change my life. And it was so weird. I had this crazy feeling. And I would crumble up a piece of paper and shoot it into a basket that was kind of far away, and it would go in. And I was like, damn. And then I bowled, and I was like, if I get a strike on this stunt, I'm going to win. And then I got a strike. And I was like, holy shit, I'm going to win this thing. So then I went there with full confidence, and I get there, and everything fell into place perfectly. And the 20 top pros and me, and then I won. It was crazy.
Well,
So-
more specifically, he rolled in and just busted the trick that won the X Games, like as a warm up.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm dead
Yeah,
serious.
it was pretty crazy. So like everybody was like, "Holy shit, who's this kid?" Like I remember like the top number one pro was like that was the best 360 tabletop I've ever seen in my life, and I saw that in the magazine later on, and it gave me chills. I was like, "Wow, that is the sickest thing has ever been." I mean, that was a huge compliment. That's Gary Ellis, who I grew up watching, and he knows who I am now. And so it freaked me out. And then I won contest after contest until the 96 X Games. I got invited, and I got second. So the year after that, it was 97, and then all eyes were on me, and I won. So it was pretty cool. And then from then on out, it was like a roller coaster ride, man. It was crazy.
Who did you lose to in '96?
Joey Garcia.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he's a really cool
Yeah.
guy.
That's pretty fair.
NorCal
So-
dude. Yeah,
so
he's
then-
badass dude.
So at that point now, sponsors are pouring in. You had Vans, you had Specialized, you had people now all of a sudden biking is becoming, BMX has now become your profession.
Yeah, it's crazy because there was no such thing as a BMX dirt jumper pro before, like dude that just made money dirt jumping. The closest thing to that would be Fuzzy Hall, and he was like, he's a Utah native, and he's just a badass dude, and he was the closest thing to a dirt jumper, but he had to race as well, and he'd do tricks in the races. So I looked up to him. I thought he was amazing, but it was very, very hard to become a professional dirt jumper, and I think I was like breaking down barriers at that point because people like to watch it more.
And then you said, so 98, you did some international stuff.
Hold
Yeah.
on, before you go into that,
What?
your first, like when you started dealing with sponsorships and stuff, this is more of a business question. So you started dealing with sponsorships and stuff at what age were you?
18.
18. So did you do it yourself? Did your folks help? Did you have an attorney?
No.
Were you a minor? I mean,
I was doing it myself, and I was getting rolled for the first 5 years. I was getting completely rolled because you don't realize when you're that young, you make, I mean, my first contract was $300 a month.
I probably thought you were rich as fuck at the time,
I
too.
thought I was rich
That
as
sounds
I was
like,
like, dude,
that sounds like
you
me as
can't-
an
you
E2.
cannot-
I was like, dude, I'm
cannot
18.
Living in the barracks.
You can't count your newspaper out.
$187.
You can't count your newspaper out.
I never even had a newspaper route, but I didn't realize was that I made $5 an hour. So I was like, man, $300 a month, I'm rich. I'm not even gonna worry about nothing. I made $5 an hour at the ice cream store at Smith's on Trop and Jones here in Vegas, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be rich. At like $300 a month. Like if I save up for this long, I'll have this much, and it was crazy, dude. So then,
That's a good mindset
after I
right
started
there.
winning contests and getting money, to make a long story longer, I actually saved up enough cash. It was $44,000 in my sock drawer. I didn't even have a bank account. I was like, dude,
serious?
I'm fucking loaded, dude. I am so rich right now. I had 44 grand. I mean, we would take pictures with it and shit. We were like doing like rap videos. Me and my buddies were like, it was so funny. Like,
Look at the look on Baker's face right now.
Yeah, but what's sad is that just triggers a story. You remind me of my grandmother, but she did that up until the time she was 78, which is country ass mindset. So
right.
That's just funny.
Yeah.
It's a memory, triggered a memory.
Hey, thanks for bringing the whole mood down, bro. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Anytime.
Thanks for just fucking stomping the brakes on that shit,
Yeah,
Baker.
so, everything is unfunny now, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You remind me of my grandmother.
Yeah.
No, she used to sock fucking money in her
No,
in her
don't
mattress.
even try and
Until
save
she
it
was
at this
78.
point, for fuck's sake.
Dick.
Let
How
me
much-
crawl in this fucking coffin.
Are you still putting
For
money
your
in the drawer,
cage.
though? TJ, are you still putting money in the drawer?
No more money in the drawer. In fact, I only have $5 on me right now.
You met it. You met somebody over at Chase.
I have a bank account, and like I don't even keep control of it because when I was 22, the smartest thing I ever did was I hired my mom when I was 22 to take care of my money and to pay the bills. And so my credit has been spot on ever since I was a kid because
Nice.
my mom was in charge of it, and she was scared to death that I would just go blow all my money and be an idiot. So you had like one barrier, you know what I'm saying? Like instead of just going to the bank and getting out 10 grand for that new car or whatever you're gonna get, and you had one barrier to deal with, which was my mom, which I'm very thankful for that.
So she was the gatekeeper.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Well,
man.
you know what's funny, Baker. earlier
Baker's
today when-
mom was the gatekeeper.
Yeah, that's what they called her when she would lock him in his
gated
room.
up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm the gatekeeper. I keep
He's
him
got
in
a
that
dark
room.
passenger that'll embarrass the family. He grew up in southern Alabama.
At this point, TJ's the only person I'm not going to poison tonight when they go to sleep.
Thanks, man. And I do no hate campaigns, so I like the gay.
Oh, I do too. But
I was
he's-
raised
he's-
by wolves,
He's
gay
super
wolves.
homophobe.
No,
so
I'm
fucking-
just-
it
I just think it's
resonates
funny.
I was raised by gay wolves. I'm sorry.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I
So
love
it was like when I was listening
He
to,
was
to
breastfed
some
by
of
his grandmother.
his early 20s and stuff today, literally that one question, I go, who the fuck were your mentors, man? Because you were making good decisions back then. Like you were not doing dumb shit.
No, like I was the youngest kid in my neighborhood always. So everybody was 5 years older than me. So I saw them and what they were doing, and I saw them like messing up and stuff and like drinking and driving. One of my friends got killed drinking and driving, and I was like, man, I don't want to drink. So I just never started. I never got into it. I just never developed the
You
taste.
just passed the depression baton
So
from me to you.
the baton got passed, and there I am. So I just never got into it, and now you see me have to order club soda in front of everybody.
It's wonderful. I'm a huge club soda fan.
Ask Evan what he's
awesome.
drinking. Speaking
All
of
right,
gay
thank you.
wolves.
Thank you. That's delicious.
I'll admit exactly what I'm drinking.
But
So
One
I
thing-
was the youngest guy, and I would see, and learning from other people's mistakes made me
Thank you.
learn and do the right thing pretty much my entire
Thank you.
teens and 20s. It was awesome.
yeah, I surround myself with failures too, to bring myself up.
Hey,
You know
shut the
what I'm
fuck
saying?
up.
And I can't believe how successful you look right now.
Yeah, he looks like a
just kidding.
success. Like it looks like he's been a
I look
success
like
holding a cardboard sign.
I look like a success at a truck stop off exit 13.
No, you can work
Trust
that
me,
hole.
that hole right there, it gets more action than
I'll tell you
anybody's.
what, that's a good glory hole.
Yeah,
it's got
it's
duct tape on the
24
underside.
hours.
Doesn't
The
scar
reason
you
he
up.
was laughing so hard when
And
TJ said he
I
had
have-
44 grand in the bank
I
because
have-
he's got 100 from
I have
working that floor.
medicated. I have medicated wet wipes.
Okay, so
That's attention to detail others don't
who,
give.
Who here has heard the story of Lord Hot Dog? Come on, let me hear you. Lord Hot Dog. This fucking guy, he came up with this story about he's going to be a hot dog millionaire, right? Did you guys, everybody hear this shit? And when he first came into the office, I don't want to like digress. He first came into the office, he's like, dude, check it out, man. I got this great idea. I'm going to be a fucking millionaire. And I was like, really? Wow, because I'm your business partner and you must be doing something extraordinary. He's like, no, I'm going to be a hot dog millionaire. I figure I'm only going to have like $600,000 in the bank. I'm almost there. And then he told me what his balance was. And I'm like, dude, you are not almost there. Like, this is the difference. I mean, these three places in this number, that's what means like 10, 100, and 1,000. And he's like, okay, I'm going to be a millionaire in hot dogs. I don't understand anything about numbers. And I was like, okay, fine enough.
No, I figured out how much money I had to have in order to purchase
$600,000.
1 million hot dogs. And then I'm a hot dog millionaire.
Yeah, he's a hot dog millionaire. There's Lord Hot Dog.
Well, no, but the math on that is completely and totally fucked.
He doesn't like. That's
Don't
the problem.
try
He
and
doesn't know-
rationalize
he doesn't
it,
know
Baker.
You're basically saying that a fucking hot dog in bulk.
I'm going off
Cost
of a pack of
67
8 hot
cents.
dogs is $4.82 at Harmon's. It's the grocery store right next to my house. I buy 4 packs a day. I know how much it is.
And he actually lives in. he lives in my old house.
I did move into Evan's house. And that was only because I was too lazy to find my own
Hey,
house.
can
and he
someone
already
can
had
someone
one.
Google like what bulk like at Costco like what bulk?
Yeah,
I didn't
Yeah,
look
it's
into
fine.
bulk.
So
There's no way you're paying 67 cents for a fucking hot dog.
Okay, so those of you guys that don't know who this gentleman is to my left, Baker. Do you guys know who Killcliff Energy drinks? Have you guys seen this? Oh, Killcliff. So Baker.
No, that was those guys over there playing fucking.
So Baker was
whatever
one of
silly
the
game
one of
it
the
is.
He
founding.
obviously has stocks in it.
I got stocks.
Christ.
Was that a moan or a cheer? Oh!
So he.
That wasn't in English, man.
Oh no.
He's
Oh, no,
one
not
of the
you. Don't-
he's
I'm
one of
just
the
kidding.
founding
Dudes.
founding dudes of Killcliff Energy Drinks. He's a
It's not an energy drink.
Is it an energy drink?
No, it's not an energy drink.
It's a recovery drink.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Incorrect articulation, giant baby. And so why is he here? I
Let me
swear
tell the
everybody
story.
here, you should be asking that question because I ask it all the fucking time.
Matt Best
why
couldn't make
are
it.
you here?
Matt Best
I
couldn't
ask
make
him
it.
that.
I was the third option. The second option was Donald Trump Jr., who was supposed to make it, and I was a last-minute fill-in.
Yeah.
True story.
entirely
True
Donald
story.
Trump Jr.
Donald Trump Jr. was coming from D.C. from the inauguration, couldn't make it, and so they asked me to step in, and I did.
Thank you.
MAGA,
Thank you
That's
for
a
that.
lie.
bitches.
Complete lie.
Thank you for that. Say hi to Monterelli.
What's up,
Rob
Mod?
Monterelli.
But that dude's from like
All right,
England.
so let's get back to TJ here.
or one of
Like,
these.
because I want to know. So now let's move into. You went over to Germany. You took 2 titles for world championships, and then Specialized came to you with an offer.
They came to me in '96 actually before the X Games. They were like, Specialized came to me and they gave me the massive offer of $300 a year. I mean $300 a month, and I was like, dude, that's awesome. I'm in. Yes, and they're paying my way and they're giving me bikes and that was just I was rich. That was it. And so I was winning contests. So I was making lots of money winning contests. When I say lots of money, I was like $500 a contest or $600, $2,200 for the X Games.
You still got the sock drawer
Yeah.
at this point, or your mom has taken over officially?
Mom took over about.
Did she deposit all $44,000?
Oh yeah, she deposited everything that I ever had. Like it was awesome. Yeah. So it was. I don't know what she took over when I was about 22. So 4 or 5 years I was spending it all on women and cars.
yes.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was good times.
What kind of cars? What kind of women?
Yeah.
Old cars.
Fast women.
I could only afford old cars, like 63, 64 Lincoln Continentals, Cadillacs, and old trucks. I had a 64 C10. I had a lot of different cars. I think I tried to write them all down and see how many it was when I was since I was a kid, how many old cars I bought, sold, and traded, and it was like I was up to like 65
Holy shit.
Yeah, and it was like a car lot at my house sometimes. So it was just crazy. But like sometimes I would have 3 at a time, or 4 at a time, or 5 at a time, and I would watch like behind the music, and I'd see MC Hammer have 11, and he was way richer than I could ever hope to be, but he broke. So I was like, man, okay, I gotta learn from that mistake.
So we're talking about they told you win another X Games.
Yeah, so in '99, Specialized came to me and they were like, TJ, win the X Games and we'll give you $100,000. And I was like, $100,000? Like, that's a pretty big contract. Like, I'll do it. So I went out there and I won that goddamn X Games, dude, again. I was like, holy shit.
They bribed their way for an X Games.
Yeah,
gold.
so I was just like, dude, they told me that, and I just went out and I was like, I'm winning this contest no matter what. So everybody else, just let me win this thing because I need it. So I just handled it, man. It was sick, and I won, and it was 26-mile-an-hour winds in San Francisco, and I'll never forget it. It was the headwind was so great that I wore goggles. Those actual same goggles that you had on today.
Are you serious?
In the funniest IG video he's ever done.
Yeah, it was good.
The funniest fucking IG video you've ever
Thank
done.
you, Baker.
Shut up.
Throwback to the
shut up.
goggles,
When's the last
dude.
time you
The
did a funny
same
video?
goggles that you had on. I am almost positive they're same exact goggles that you had on today in the IG video. I won the X Games in those goggles. So it was sick, dude. And a full face helmet, the whole kit. It was awesome.
So then, is that when you came back and bought your house? Because your house is a very interesting topic.
Yeah.
We have to talk about that.
Yeah, so then it was like, yeah, I came home and bought the house. I bought the land, actually, and then had the house built.
So you bought out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere is a 1.5 mile dirt road from any concrete at all. So all the old cars and all the old trucks and everything had to go a mile-long dirt road, 0 miles an hour if you just washed them, because I like black cars, and that was a wrap.
How old were you when you bought that?
I moved into it when I was 22.
Nice.
And he still has it now. And it's beautiful, by the way. He's got an Oasis in the back. You got your shop with your cool loft, which if you saw on the video on the Black-Hearted page, we were going over all the cool memorabilia and stuff that he has up on the loft. It's super rad. I had a blast there today.
Let me ask you a question about your X Game experiences. Regardless of placing, monetary compensation, or prize, which one was the most meaningful? Like, which one, like I really busted my ass and performed well in this one? Regardless of placing or monetary compensation. Like,
I would say
which one are you most proud of?
97 X Games was my favorite, because that morning we woke up, I go out there, it was in San Diego, it was the most beautiful place, and I go out there, and in practice I was just taking slam after slam and crashing my ass off, and I had scabs everywhere, my wrists hurt real bad because I just got over a broken wrist, and so it was a really tough contest. And I remember, like, during the middle of the day, like probably 3 o'clock, I was like, man, I don't know if I got this one, Travis. And my manager at the time, his name was Travis Chiprez. He's in the movie Rad, and so he's like, he's one of the
What a great favorite movie.
yeah, so he's
Rad.
one of the baddest. He's one of the baddest dudes in the world. Yeah, this guy's like, he was actually Bart Taylor's stunt double. So he was not only playing himself in the movie, but Bart Taylor's stunt double as well. So he was just a badass dude. And he was like, all right, TJ, if you want, we could just pack up and we could just go home, or you could cowboy up, put some new gloves on, and man up and win this goddamn thing. And I was like, all right, man, let's just do it. So then put new gloves on, and the new gloves were like superpowers, man. I put those things on, and I all of a sudden started riding good. And he was like, if you look good, you ride good. And I was like, okay. So then I added to that, and I was like, if you look good, you feel good. And if you feel good, you ride good. And if you ride good, you live good. So
Deion
fuck,
Sanders.
I'm going to win. So then I went out there and did some shit that I never even did in my life, which was a tail whip. I never landed that on dirt in my life. And I went up to the top of the roll-in, practiced it on top of the deck, and I was like, man, I really need to stomp this thing. And it was all down to the last run. Stomped it, threw my hands up at the bottom and right by the berm, and all the people were yelling back at me. I'll never forget it. I was like, I just won the fucking X Games. Oh, there we are. That was it, man. And then I made a bunch of money, and I was like, dude, that is insane. And I was on Good Morning America that night, and which was that morning.
That night.
It was like East Coast morning, and so it's 4 a.m. our time, and it was insane, man. And that just, like, it's been a roller coaster ever since. Like, that 97 X Games, like, legit changed my life, because then I started making decent money and moved into that badass house I have now. Like, I love that place.
Well, at 22, you started, like you said, when I first came over, you were like, I've had this house for 18 years.
Yeah, I never moved. Like, it's crazy. I just got to a place, and I was like, I don't really need to move.
This is gonna move me into the coolest story I've ever heard today. Well, heard in general about your random guests. You know, TJ and I were sitting down, we're talking about like the times in our lives where we just went, how the fuck did I get here right now?
Which happens to me often. It actually happened to me right now.
I was telling him about how at one point I was watching Rick and Morty with Bryan Singer, the director of X-Men, in his private theater at his house. Like,
Really?
I was just
Insane.
like, what the fuck? How did this happen? And he goes, dude, I got a story just like that. And he's like, and it starts with, I get a call to open my gate. So I open the gate, and he sees an Escalade pull in.
Yeah, like I have these big gates out front, and I open the gate, and this Escalade pulls in, and it's like kind of like got a couple Escalades with them, and these two little
It's
Asian
an Escalade
kids,
with other Escalades?
yeah, and there's two little Asian kids coming around the back, and they're really cute kids, and
What?
the guy's like, oh, here they come, and he's in. I look up, and he's like, hey, how's it going, man? I'm Brad, and I was like, oh my God. Holy shit, dude, you're Brad Pitt. Like, dude, fucking
Shut the fuck up.
house. Like, what the fuck is this? This is Brad Pitt. And I was like, dude, I just watched your ass. Like, you're the Fight Club guy. Like, there you are, dude. And like, I'm looking at him. He takes off his glasses and the bluest eyes I ever saw in my life.
no,
I just
so
wanted
hot.
to fucking make out with
Yeah.
him, dude. I was like, oh my God, that's Brad Pitt. So,
I'm sorry, gonna kiss you?
yeah,
Gonna
just let me
kiss you?
just have a kiss. You just won,
Yeah,
man.
that
Fuck it, I
shit.
don't care. So then I played it cool. I was like, all right, man, hey, I gotta go pick up my daughter. So can you just hang out here for a minute? He was like, yeah. So he hung out at my house for a minute. I went and picked up Raquel, came home, and he was like, hey, can we go for a ride or whatever? And I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, my kids want to watch your track. So I jumped over to kids and Pax and Maddox, and they were like watching me do backflips over them, and then they're looking up, and I'm flipping over these kids, and Brad's filming me on his phone, and I was like, dude, this is the wildest stuff that ever happened to me. So then we went for a ride on a golf cart, and Brad sits next to me, and then my daughter sits on his lap, and the dude couldn't have been cooler, man. Like, he's like, yeah, just come on, let's go, Raquel, come on. So Raquel sat on his lap the whole time, and they're riding four-wheelers and shit. It was cool, man.
How did he know where you lived?
I don't know. I think it's because he said that he like knew about my track and knew about the track and flew over the house a lot of times, saw the track, and then he had mutual friends and was like, hey, do you know that track? And then he got wind of it and then found out where I was.
It's funny, like, this is kind of a business podcast, and like I look at like your success and like parallels with other guys sitting at the table, and
Speak up, baby.
and it makes me think about like how like this gentleman would have handled that situation, like someone just showing up at his house unannounced and their kids running around the yard. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Pitt, excuse me, who the fuck are you? How the fuck did you get in my gate?
How the did you get in my gate?
I'm gonna have JT drop a fucking bomb on your house while you're here.
You wouldn't do that.
No.
Fuck, he wouldn't.
No.
Yes, he would. Take that motherfucker up in a helicopter.
So we bought a new building.
Yeah.
So we bought a new building in Salt Lake, and it's like 3.3 acres. It's fucking it's
Right in downtown Salt Lake, too.
yeah. So
Salt
It's
Lake's
amazing.
dope, dude.
It's
I love
like
it.
romper room.
I've
It's
got my
badass.
daughter, my wife, everybody there.
Me.
I'm like,
I mean,
I'm throwing some
higher on
trash.
that totem pole
He's
is
not.
important to him.
He's not there.
I'm not there.
He's not there. So I'm throwing trash because we did a bunch of construction. I'm throwing trash
We had a
from the back of
dumpster
my
out
truck.
back. Yeah, we had a big dumpster out back.
And a couple super shady dudes come in, and I pull on them because I'm like, whoa, what's up, fellas? Like, this is private property. This is my building.
You have
This
to
is
go through two gates.
You have
to
to go
get
through
where
two
he
gates to get
is.
into my building.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, oh, we're just looking around. I'm like, this is my Glock. I am going to let you meet your maker today. And, oh, by the way, I have some super sick splits and a pro timer. So, like, let's
Focus
just check
on
this shit
TJ
out.
Lavin's face right now, everybody.
No, I
is
believe
awesome.
I believe your exact words. You get out of the truck. Today is the last day on Earth.
I did. I said, step foot on the pavement. Last breath. And I was actually kind of giddy, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Well, now it's
Perfect.
a contest of who gets to just smoke the first
Actually,
person on
and
the
that was the
property.
first time. The second time was like, so Matt and was it all of us?
Yeah, it was all of us.
It was all
That
of
was
us.
a really
and
awkward.
we all like we're like. PTSD is a hell of a fucking drug, right? It's fucking horrible.
Everybody
dude-
better start fucking
this
laughing at
dude
that joke now.
banged hard on a door that again is behind gates. So within 10 seconds, there was 12 guys around him, all with
Like-
different weapons.
Like super sketchy guys like us, you know. Super sketchy. Oh shit, it's target practice time, you know. And like, oh, hey, I'm just a door-to-door salesman. Just leave me alone.
How did he get in there?
No, you like walk through the gate because I was working on the gate. It's an electronic gate with a keypad, but
Yeah, they're always broken, aren't they? It sucks.
they're
I hate
always
it. I know.
fucked up.
You
have
always
a
bro.
gate.
I know.
You
I have
probably
3
have
of
to
them.
fix
They're
it.
fucking always broken, man.
You have peacocks on your roof.
I have peacocks. It's pretty crazy, dude. I got fucking dogs. I
It
got
is
peacocks,
magical over there.
5 dogs, a cat, and a kid. I'm rolling deep.
I
The Lavin residence is full, bro. No more.
would just like to introduce that everybody. There is a Navy SEAL here, so
Fucking
just
A.
relax.
There's a seal here.
Just fucking relax.
Hey,
Salon
a Navy
quality
SEAL
hair.
just
There
showed
is a
up.
Navy SEAL.
Hoo-yah, what do they say? What is
Don't-
it? Hoorah?
Hold on.
No,
You're not going to get your throats
They
cut.
say sign
Hold
this
on,
book
guys.
contract.
Sean Matson from Strike Force
Strike
Energy.
Force
Come
Energy.
here.
Strike Force Energy.
Over here.
right
Walk
over
out.
here.
We'll just come and walk this way.
Yeah.
Come on,
there
you
we
fucking
go.
pussy. Seal.
Hell.
Seal. Come on, just.
Put
Hey,
down the can.
And I just like to
There
everybody.
he is. This way.
Kick-
That's actually
Yeah.
a fucking lie.
I would just like
There's
to
no
tell
such thing as a
everyone.
fat seal.
I would just really.
Everybody look at the fat seal.
Look, I don't even
Hey.
have fucking hair. How can I be a seal? I don't have salon quality hair.
Hold on.
You look fucking good.
I bald baby. I would really like to say something.
Don't embarrass me.
A lot of people don't know this, but you get weekends off in Buds. You know, you get weekends off. It's
That's
a 9
what-
to 5.
I learned that
It's
from
a 9
Baker.
to 5 thing.
I learned that from Baker.
Sean, I'm just fucking around. Man. I'm sorry.
I learned that from one of the craziest fucking seals that I know. Driving down the road in Seattle, he told me that story, and I went, "Shut the fuck up! Are you serious?"
Who has prior military experience here?
Prior military.
I would like you all to know that Baker went to Air Force boarding school.
Yeah. Thank him for his service.
Thank him
Thank
for
him
his service.
For his service. Thank you, Baker.
I don't buy me shots. I did because
Yeah.
my mother told me to go there. Same thing any belligerent child would have done at that time.
Right.
Nothing special. Nothing special.
All right, well let's get into the transition now.
I didn't hear that joke.
Transition.
That sounded funny.
I-
What was that?
that was- a
I
good
would
one.
also like to take like 2 seconds here. So Eric Carpenter is in the back room of this there he is. Eric and I went to we went to school together in high school, junior high, like pretty much the entire
He doesn't
time.
look near as old as you.
Yeah, but I've got some fucking highway miles and off-road miles on me pretty fucking extensively.
Who was the bottom? Who was the top?
And some out of country miles.
Who was the
Yeah.
bottom? Who was the top?
He's a lot taller. It's just a geometric circumstance.
You told me that earlier. There you go. It's all about geometry.
It's a geometric circumstance.
So the transition now from
Tranny.
BMX,
Tranny it.
the tranny, from BMX to professional TV host. How did that come
Wait,
about?
hold on. Before we hit
What?
the TV thing.
Yeah, then give us something, please.
Hold on. So it's a business podcast.
Yeah.
Sit back,
It's a
please.
business.
Give it to me.
So Was there? I asked you about your favorite one that you felt that you overperformed. Was there ever a time when you felt pressured to perform? And this ties into last night talking to Donnie Vincent. Was there ever a time when you felt pressured to perform for a sponsor, and go somewhere or do something out of your comfort zone that you wanted? Like, hey, I'm gonna do this because I'm gonna do it for my sponsor, and it's not what I want to do, or I need to do this. Not because it makes sense, but it makes financial sense.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, that happened a couple times, more than once. That I had to do something that was a little bit out of my comfort zone. Very often.
With regards to like a trick or a competition.
Yeah, I did a contest.
Not like a video with other dudes.
No, I did a trick, a double backflip, and the first double backflip I ever did, it was like coin toss if I was gonna make it or not. And I remember like rolling around the front yard of my buddy's house, getting ready to sprint down to the backyard where the jump was. And I was like, man, this might be the last time I could ever walk. And then that was the last thought in my head, and then pinned it down there. And like, I sent it anyway. And like, I remember thinking to myself, that was pretty fucking stupid to think like that, like right before you go in, you know? So that was one time that I'll never forget how scared I was, and I sent it anyway.
And damn, it's brave.
I'm trying to bring the podcast down.
Yeah,
just bring it down.
Just fucking turn his mic off. Jesus Christ.
Shut up. I want to hear the transition now. Now you go from the action sports star to TV. Well, how did that happen?
Like I was going to sign with William Morris Agency in New York City, and I signed with them, and as I'm signing, this guy calls me. His name is Vinny Potestivo. He was a really cool dude, and he was in my backyard for the thing called the Backyard Barbecue in 1999, which is the year that I moved into my house. So I move in, and he's sweeping the back porch for MTV for the party, and I'm like, dude, just come in. He's like, nah. I'm like, no, just tell him I sent you in. He's like, all right. So he came in. He had breakfast. He's a cool ass dude. And we hung out, and then he was like, all right, man, I got to go back out there and get this thing ready. I was like, all right, sweet. So he goes out there, gets the party ready, calls me every year on my birthday. And I'm like, man, this dude's fucking cool, man. So then I go sign with William Morris Agency later on that, like in 2005-ish. And Vinny calls me, and out of the blue. And I'm like, dude, I'm in New York City right now. He's like, oh, well, come up to my office. So I was like, you don't have an office. You're like, he was a PA back then. He's sweeping the floor. Well, turns out he ended up being like a bigwig at MTV. And he's like, do you want a show? And I'm like, yeah. What do you mean? Do I want a show? And he's like, no. I have this show called The Challenge. And I was like, no, that's Dave Mira's. And he's like, no, Mira's over it. So I called Mira right there on the spot. And Mira's like, no, you'll do it for 1 or 2 seasons and you'll be over it. He goes, you should do it, though. I was like, all right, cool. So I was like, all right, Vinny, I'm in. And that was it. And that was a wrap, dude. I went and met the people, and me and the producers got along great. The first producer that I had for 18 seasons or 17 seasons of the show was Justin Booth.
Same dude.
He's like, same dude, like one of the baddest dudes that I've ever known. He's one of my best friends now. He's like my brother. And when the very first show we did, we got along great, and I was like, dude, this is my guy. And he was like, this is my guy, and that was a wrap.
That's fucking epic, dude.
It's interesting. They have that saying, like, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And I met TJ about, I don't know, before the podcast, and I was asking about the show. I was like, yeah, you like it? You still having fun with it? And is it a good time? And, like, he literally went off for about 30 seconds about how crazy he was about this job. And it's actually interesting. It's very refreshing to hear someone on that side of the industry, like in the entertainment industry, to speak so highly and passionately about what they do for a living.
Well,
and that was pretty fucking cool.
You know what I mean? Here's the thing,
I
man.
thought it was a line at first, and I was like, wait a minute, man, this motherfucker's not going to shut the fuck up about this. And he's going to keep fucking, he sounds like me. He won't stop talking.
Sure that I know. But I guess sure that
it's more of a statement. It was like, it was very, very cool to see someone in the entertainment industry like legitimately profess how much they do enjoy what they're doing.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's just because I had a real job. So I had 2 real jobs in my life. Was a runner and threat protector dude at a bolt factory and an ice cream store worker. I mean, these are both jobs when I had when I was 15.
My second job ever was at Baskin Robbins when I was a kid.
Yeah, so dude, I was 15 years old working these jobs, and I was like, man, I never want to do that again. So I was like, I am so appreciative and so lucky. I can't even tell you, man. It's like to ride a little kid's bike and get paid to do that, and then fast forward into this goddamn television show that just keeps on going like the Little Red Engine. I'm like, dude, I'll do this shit till I'm 50, 100. I don't care. Dude, I love this show. It's badass. Every time I go to work, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Well, so fuck you guys.
Do you want to hear the time that JT and I were presented with a reality show?
Yes,
from the History Channel. Do you want to hear the other one?
This is funny.
This is a fucking good one.
You have to premise this with the fact that
Did you say the History Channel?
Yeah, it's with the History Channel.
This is before we met, by the way.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So it's like
And now we're all friends,
it's
so-
like 2 weeks ago.
we field a lot of offers. Everybody's like, "Oh man, it would be awesome to get you guys into this." Like, except they're really shitty at this. Like they're
Super
really
shitty.
shitty at doing
They
their
fucking
homework.
suck.
For example, one of the largest production companies in Los Angeles that offered us a reality show, the first contract they sent over had a clause in there that said they had rights to all merchandising that connected to us. And I called them back and I go, "You realize we own a t-shirt company, right?" Oh yeah. I go, "Put me on the phone with a fucking adult. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You just wrote 14 paragraphs because you're an idiot.
And everyone should remember
Get me
that
on the
line.
phone with your boss." And he was because this was a big deal because everybody's trying to get the golden goose, the Matt Best golden goose.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, "Oh, I got my boss. I go, "How long has that child worked at your business? Stop letting him have a computer." So this is like a year and a half ago. So
Yeah.
fast forward to like
So fast forward, you know, we get an email from like a barrage of emails. Everybody around us associated with us is getting the same email.
He attacked. Yeah,
He attacked everybody.
all the general. So it was info at Leadslingers, info at Art15,
and then all the influencers around us, everybody, like every fucking dude.
anybody that's ever appeared in a picture with us.
He
it
was
like,
fucking
"Not me.
scanning.
Can you get me in touch with these guys?"
And so
didn't even get
I was
a
like,
pistol.
he gets me on the phone. JT's in the office, in my office, and I was like, okay, I'm a fucking asshole, like super asshole. Like,
I'm more of an asshole than you, though.
He is at times, but I would say that sometimes I'm a more articulate asshole. Like he's just a fucking super just atom bomb
No,
type
just
asshole.
tell him to eat shit.
And yeah, that's exactly what he says. And so I'm like, I've got this
Evan
guy on
will
the phone.
explain while he's spoon feeding
like,
him the shit.
Okay, dude. I'm like, you can come
This
out
is
here.
because you're stupid.
You come out here. It's totally fine. But this is what you're walking into. So we have like over 100 years of special operations experience. Like you've got a bunch of fucking dudes that are like super heavy hitters in the sense of like, I have 7 years in combat zones. Like collectively, you're a fucking beta male as soon as you walk into this fucking place. Get ready because I'm gonna fucking hand you your ass. But if you can hang, by all means, man, pitch me your fucking little project. I don't give a fuck. And he's like, okay, I'll be on a flight. Right?
Well, you also have to premise it. Hollywood literally works. They operate in this pretend power.
yeah, it's like
It's a pretend power. So these guys calling us, they already think that we should be servants to them
Yeah.
because they're offering us a TV show.
we're just gonna drop down to our
And we're
knees.
just gonna go, "Oh my god!
Oh my
I'm
God,
gonna be
dude.
the next Honey Boo Boo."
Little do they know.
Oh, dude, I want to be Duck Dynasty. Are you fucking kidding me? They make duck calls. I work for the CIA. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here.
But tell me
fuck
how you
outta
really
here.
feel. Tell me how you really feel.
You make a duck call, motherfucker.
that-
I worked in Mosul, Iraq.
That was in an
fucking crazy?
That was in an email back to.
Get the fuck out of here.
Let me explain to you how we're not hillbilly fucks.
No, that's exactly what I said. No offense to you guys that like fucking Duck Dynasty, but I was like, let me explain to you why I'm I'm not a fucking hillbilly fucktard. I love my hillbilly fucktards. No offense, but I'm like, man. Like,
we do not discriminate towards.
I do not discriminate towards hillbilly fucktards. Real tree camouflage is a legitimate camouflage that will hide you in the course of that. No. Like, let me explain to you. There we go.
He's got a duck all around his neck. Evan, fuck you.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, man.
Dude, I'm from Georgia. Den. Don't feel bad. Like I'm at the table, so they love me.
Step into the den. We'll make you legit, right?
But,
and so he flies out. Go ahead.
No.
Somebody got you around.
Let me hit.
What a nice.
Thanks, brother.
Let me hit pause on this little this tirade real quick. So, if you look at where these dudes got to where they were, and JT was at the top of the food chain in the Air Force, and there's a reason why JT made it that far.
Yeah, he's fucking insane. He spent about 2 years on shrooms.
No. Here we go. So TJ Lavin ascended to the top of his trade because his buddies saw some dudes do some things that they knew that he could do. JT dropped bombs all over people overseas, and the reason for that was when he was in 8th fucking grade. There's always a trigger mechanism that basically can equate to where we are in our lives. So JT rolls up to the fucking bus stop in 8th grade, and all the seniors are there smoking cigarettes. And they go, "Hey man, do you smoke?" And JT's like, "Yeah, I fucking smoke, man. Give me a Marlboro Red." So he smokes his cigarette and then proceeds to vomit all over the fucking bus stop. And he was so goddamn mortified and embarrassed that he went on a quest
to be better than them.
To be better than them until he went to the top of the food chain at the Air Force. I stopped in sophomore year at Air Force boarding school.
Yeah.
But he kept on carrying that torch. Evan's story is a little bit different.
I don't even know what it is, man.
When he got fired from that skate shop in 8th grade for not being cool enough.
He made that up. No, I was a fucking dirtbag. And what I decided to do is like basically just turn it around in a sense of like, I was like, yeah, maybe I'll just like try this military thing. And then I was like, yeah, maybe I'll like, I'm going to go try to be a Green Beret. Actually, I just knew that's what I was going to do. And Eric can attest to this. He's in the back where I was like, I didn't really give a shit. After a while, I was just like, yeah, I'm just on a path, like in a way I was just kind of on this super weird warrior monk path where I was fully engrossed into this thing called, being an SF guy, but I'm not going to go down some weird rabbit hole. So ultimately in 2004, I decided to join the CIA, and then I spent 7 years or whatever in combat zones roughly, and doing like a super fucking niche, like highly dangerous profession. It's not fun. I mean, it's super fun.
It's kind of fun.
It's not fun. It's super fun.
Let it flow. No
Reel
one's judging.
that
Tell the
back
truth.
to the reality show for TJ.
No, that's what I am. I'm trying
getting back
to paint a context.
Yeah.
No, there's no reality show, bro. Let's just fucking go down that
No
route.
reality.
I'm having way too much fun listening to
By
this
all
shit.
means, please continue.
So anyway, I was telling these guys, I'm not a great athlete or anything. I can shoot really fast. I can shoot well, but ultimately I'm like, hey man, I'm pretty good at what I do in the sense of what I did. I was telling the story last night because most of the stories I can't really talk about not in any weird circumstances. Just people don't believe them. And I was like, yeah. They don't fucking believe it, dude. They don't believe
Yeah,
it. So
it's super unbelievable shit.
I was driving a fucking $500,000 BMW that was level 7 armored from fucking Ramadi to Baghdad with NVGs at 2 o'clock in the morning, driving 100 miles an hour. And no shit, pegged the fuck out listening to Tool.
What was in the trunk?
And it was $1 million in cash. And
Fuck your 44 grand. At $1 million.
Fuck you, TJ. We set you up for that. I was setting you up all night for that one, buddy.
Yeah, take that 44 and shove it up your ass. I had a fucking $1 million.
I had $1 million in cash, and we talked about it. Right next to me, I'm like, we could fucking jump out of this country, like escape through Turkey and fucking walk with $1 million in cash.
Turkey's dope too. I've
Dope
been
as
I've been
fuck.
in a couple times. I love it.
It's not
But at that
dope
point,
at all.
At that point, I'm like, this is the fucking coolest job I've ever had in my life.
Hell yeah.
And I'm not a good
Blasting
athlete.
schism.
Yeah. No, it was like prison sex, I think, right? The dude next to me is like, you listen to that shit way too often. You're fucking super sketchy. And, but I have no idea where we fucking landed here other than like, what I think, what people have to realize, this is like, I'm bringing it back full circle in the context of like a life with fear is not worth living. It's fucking not, man. Like if you don't have it, you can just kind of be yourself. Like you can do whatever the fuck you want. So if you live with this like confines or this box and saying like I can't do that, or this your reality is I can't do that based on like some kind of super weird social constraint. Okay, dude, well you're gonna live in that box. You're never gonna fucking achieve what is possible. And so for me, there is no limit because, I'm not gonna go like super dark or anything.
No,
but
I know exactly what you're talking about because him and I did this. We did this fucking box dance on the politics thing, like.
Oh really?
Where it was like, are we gonna go down this road or then?
I just said, ain't no enough. Fuck it, I don't care.
I don't want to. I don't want to not like you. I don't want to. Then we spilled it all out. It was like. We're the same person.
Yeah. And then I was like, you want to go do karate in the basement? I fucking love you. Dude, it's crazy, bro.
To add on to that, though, like, talking about business and stuff, and so to add on to that, talking about business and whatnot, it's one of those things like, as much time as I spend with Evan and JT and Matt, Logan and all those guys, like I and my partners in my other company, those are former SEALs and stuff, I surround myself with people that I fucking refuse to ever fucking complain in front of. And attach that to your business mindset. For people listening and those here, like if I'm hunting or whatnot, I'm cold and wet or been working for, without sleep and whatnot, like I could never call Evan and be like, hey man, my feet hurt or I'm tired or I'm hungry. Because no matter how hungry, tired, thirsty, sleepy, whatever I've ever been in this civilian world, it doesn't hold a candle to the things that these guys have done just to fucking get to the level to execute their previous jobs. So it is kind of a business podcast, and that's like my advice to people out there. Is like, surround yourself with people that you refuse to fucking complain to. I'd cut my fucking leg off before I'd ever tell my partner Todd I was cold and wet when I was like duck hunting or something, because he was a fucking SEAL, and they spend 2 years, except for the weekends,
9 to 5.
Monday through Friday.
Hell week, 9 to 5.
Closed on the weekends. Bud's is closed on the weekends. But to pull like a little business nugget out of that story they just told, think about that. Like, hey, Evan, man, I'm kind of nervous. I don't know if we should do this deal. I'm talking to a fucking dude who rolled through fucking Seder City for 8 fucking years with an NVG's going 170 miles an hour with $1 million in his trunk. We could use that $1 million right now, though.
But that's the cool thing. So like talking to professional athletes, especially X Games professional athletes, like Travis Pastrana was like fucking mind blowing in the sense of like I know what it's like, and I can't say that like I know what it's like to jump out of a fucking plane without a parachute. I know what that's like, which is like you're committed to the act. You commit fucking wholly, and it's like. I don't want to say that I know what it's like to be you in any stretch of the imagination, but I have so much fucking respect for what you do because I do know what it's like when the intangibles outweigh the reality where you're like, dude, if I fuck this up,
I'm not walking.
I'm not walking. Like I'm
not
paralyzed.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing is like is the mutual respect that people have for the guys that are in the military doing the gnarliest shit in the world, and then there's guys doing the gnarliest shit on a bicycle, which is not even close, but it's still at the same time the pain and the all the stuff, the realities are there, man. Like I have a lot of friends that have been paralyzed from the neck down, and they're gone. So and I've had a couple of people die. So I know that sucks too, and I'm sure you've had a lot of friends die or get hurt, permanently hurt, and things like that. So you you have just such a respect for each other too. Like all the riders, always the love is just real because you know what it takes to dig as deep as you have to get whatever that mission is done.
Absolutely. I will say amen to that. And the
awesome.
funny thing is like everybody we bring on the podcast, guys, like these guys are super successful, and the one very common strain of DNA is like fear is like shoveled to the fucking side, stuffed in a box, and waterboarded. Like fuck that shit. And
Waterboarded.
Seriously, it's like, it doesn't exist. Man.
Waterboarded.
He would. He's done it.
That is not true.
That cannot be proven.
That's not going to be proven whatsoever.
It wasn't even called that. It was enhanced interrogation tactics.
Yeah.
No, we waterboarded him.
Yeah. They waterboarded me because I told them and they've sprayed me with bear mace and fucking done a bunch of other shit.
Time out. Let's tell the
Really,
story of the bear mace
2016 was the worst year for you.
physically.
No, 2016 was like one of the best years of my life
you were
because I was
sprayed
like,
with bear mace.
Yeah.
You were waterboarded.
Yeah.
You were thrown in a lake in 19-degree weather.
Yeah.
With no beard.
no beard. I had a clean shaven face.
He looks 15 years old.
And we had to redo that shot 7 times for whatever reason.
No, because you kept on fucking with me. It's like, we didn't get that
let's
camera
do it
in,
again.
let's do it again.
I highly recommend everyone going back and watching some of the older videos with Evan, and you'll be like, where did that little 12-year-old fuck learn to run a gun like that? This is fucked. So tell him about the bear mace story. What was where did it come from? Whose idea was it? What'd you do?
That was right here.
Yeah, so he and I, we built our relationship on the fact that we have a common thread of...
We have to let him in on Outdoor Magic. So for the entire life cycle and lifeline of BlackRifle coffee, we will always have a version.
I will say, I will preface every story that comes out of JT's mouth with the fact that I love this man. He is my fucking domestic life partner, and it's fucking I love him. He is my best friend. I will fucking go to the depths of hell with this guy. So I will say this in the fact that when we met each other, we're fucking crazy. We're crazy people, and we're like, oh shit, you're a crazy person, so am I. Fucking
It was within 7 minutes.
yeah.
I got off the plane. All of a sudden, I blacked out. We're drunk on some steps in Park City.
In High West.
And he's like, I've always wanted a shirt with a unicorn fucking an elk with a fish on his head. And I go, I know I'm an artist. And we get our guy on the phone. And we're like, I need a unicorn fucking an elk with a fish on his head. And we wanted to say Outdoor Magic. That was the first 10 minutes of our lives together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that shirt
The
will
dude in the real tree.
exist as long as
You need to get that
BlackRifle
shirt.
coffee exists.
And that's why it will always exist
and-
on the website.
And that's it's a Easter egg. So if anybody ever asks, even when we had an extremely important meeting with an extremely rich fella, that shirt was right in front, just waiting for him to say why. Oh well, that was the birth.
This was a CEO of one of the largest fucking retailers in honestly America, and Outdoor Magic is front and fucking center.
And
because
it's just a
we
little
don't
bait.
give a fuck.
It's a bait. It's why? Oh, let me tell you about that shirt.
Let me tell you about that shirt.
And there's
because
a new version coming out.
There's a new version. JT and it's 5 a.m. in the hot tub in my backyard in Park City. And
No semen in
3
any
years
of the water
ago.
filters.
3 years ago,
Yeah.
and we were blacked out drunk, laughing our fucking asses off. My wife is super unimpressed with what we got going on.
Because we were being a little loud. Because we were standing in the hot tub.
That's a common theme amongst all of our
No,
significant
range
others.
15. It's everything. It's Outdoor Magic.
No, it was Leadslingers.
Leadslingers.
We should start a whiskey company.
Yeah. Leadslingers whiskey. These
Now
things,
we're in
the
31
Genesis.
states.
It's give us something. It's somebody says, hey, you can't do that. And it's yeah, fucking watch us. Well, fucking.
If you guys don't know, some of these things are strategically planned too. So we noticed when we had launched Bitch I Operate that we had beat out Lonely Island in the comedy genre on iTunes. So then we were like, okay, well, let's see if we can beat them the same day they launched theirs. And we waited for them to launch their album, and we launched Safety Brief, and we beat them. So we screenshot the iTunes charts and tweeted it to them like, hey, when are you guys going to ask us for some advice?
Hey, JT, let's add on to that. So I live in Seattle. I spend a week, 2 weeks a month with these guys. And so I get here Monday. JT and I are eating hot dogs with one of the smartest human beings we've ever been in the presence of.
Daniel Holloway.
Got it.
Yeah, this dude's like psycho smart. So, and this is one of the things, and this is why like I spend so much time with these guys. All right, so it's kind of like in a business nugget here, which is surround yourself with people that like you have common ground with and inspire you and make you want to do cool, crazy shit. And they never, ever, ever criticize someone like creativity. Like if you hear a bad idea, like let's pass on that. Because the moment you start to quell creativity within people on your team, then they become hesitant to give you crazy ideas. So, JT is one of the craziest fucks I know. I will also say
legitimately,
he is one of the most talented human beings I've ever been in the presence of, and I've been in the presence of some intelligent, crazy, talented fucks. JT plays 12 instruments, all right? 12 musical fucking instruments, and he can sing like a motherfucker. So we're sitting there, and I said, JT, how many instruments? He goes, 12. And I said, you know how to play the drums? He goes, yeah, shitty, man, like real fucking shitty. Like I'm a shitty fucking drummer. And I was like, so if I pick a 13th instrument for you, and I pay for the instrument and the equipment and all the lessons, will you learn it? And he said, well, that depends on what it is. And I said, no, yes or no. He goes, all right, fuck it, yeah, I'll do it. I said, all right, tap dance. He goes, if you can find me.
I'm signed up for tap dance.
He says, if you can find me in Salt Lake City someone that teaches tap dance lessons, I'll do it. So I Google adult tap dance lessons. With my fingers crossed, there's like a bonus and tied into this shit. So we do that, and then all of a sudden, like that little silly little moment of humor, me joking with one of my really, really dear friends who I admire greatly, masticize, which for those of you that are ignorant means developed rapidly, into the BlackRifle talent show.
Yeah. BlackRifle talent.
Here's what within
the Mary Had a Little Lamb theme.
With what? Within 6 hours.
Yes.
I'd say within 6 hours, me fucking with my friend turned into an opportunity for us to do some epic shit and raise some killer money for charity. So what we decided to do was attach and assign talents to all the members of
Everybody
the
will
BlackRifle
have 5 weeks. 5 weeks to learn a skill that they have no background in.
From beginner to grandmaster.
Evan is doing ribbon dancing.
Ribbon dancing. It's going to be sick as shit.
Heather's screaming metal.
Logan, disease-free and good-looking, will learn to sing opera.
Hot Logie.
Matt Best, in all his sexual glory, will become a ballerina.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Scott Bollinger will learn to shoot a bow. He's like I call him Tree. He's about 6'8", and I'm going to teach him how to shoot a bow with his feet. 246 pounds of pure Georgia hell, will become a contortionist. Jack Osborne, Ozzy's son.
Jack
Osborne is the head judge.
and listen, no bullshit. In like last night, he was like, "Yeah, I'll be the judge." And I was like,
last night we're talking to add context to this. Add context.
So Tyler Gray, who was not in Delta and did not turn 40 last night.
He did.
Who was on the show's selection. We go for his 40th birthday party, and Jack Osborne's there, and we're conversing with him, and we're like, hey, man, what do you think about this crazy fucking idea? And he's like, oh, that's fucking awesome. And so, like, JT and I are like, hey, man, would you be willing to, like, be, like, the talent judge? And he's like, oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And then we're like,
I'll assemble the judge.
And we were like,
the judges.
But we want it to be a true talent
I think
contest.
TJ has to be a judge.
No, he's agreed to participate.
Yes. Yeah, you should participate.
Okay.
and the highlight, and then so we come up with this idea, and then we decide to turn it into, we're going to sell tickets, we'll donate the money to charity, and we're going to have then we're like, fuck yeah, man, we'll have a goddamn fair. Imagine this, so we're going to have a Ferris wheel and a Gravitron. 20 dudes with full-on Ragers, man, going on a Gravitron. Arrgh. No pants. Think about it for a second. Think scientifically.
Super weird.
Gravity, blood flow.
I don't know. I have no
Disney, everyone's
idea.
gonna be passed out. They'll be like, yeah, there's 24 dudes in here with boners, man, passed out in my gravitron. All the blood went to their ragers, and now all of a sudden they're fucking none in their brains. They're fucked up. Don't look at me like that. You fuck you. So I guess the point in this long, humorous rant was
I have
like,
no idea.
when you surround yourself with people that inspire you and people that aren't fucking scared to do things and they're willing to take a chance, you can really come up and accomplish some badass shit. So like if there's like people in your life that, you know, in business and what, like, oh, that's a bad idea, it's a bad idea, they shit on everything, fuck them.
Well, we've always said that we are going to purchase a hot tub hot air balloon just to piss our banker off.
Yeah, we're gonna
We're
purchase.
gonna invite him over, and we're gonna be floating in a hot tub and it's a hot air balloon. Like,
So-
yeah, fuck you.
So add some context to this. I fired the fucking banker last week or 2
it was
weeks ago.
Beaver's
it was
banker too?
beautiful too.
Kinetic's banker as well?
He was 15 minutes late. He stepped in my office and I was like, "What
And he
time
had
is the meeting?"
he had a trainee with him too, so he's probably been like talking himself up all day
that was a
about
double
how cool
whammy
he
fire.
is.
I fucking-
and he walks in
10 minutes
and
earlier
Evan just
on
looks
time.
at him like he's gonna kill him. Like, what time was our meeting? He's like, I was a little late. No, I'm gonna beat around the bush. Get the fuck out of our building.
I love it. Fucking love it.
And let me
I'm
preface.
so tired of late people.
Keep
Let me-
your money in your
God, I love
drawers,
that.
fuck
I love
bankers.
it, man. I love it.
And let me preface this with I fucking hate bankers. I fucking hate them. You know, I fucking wear blue jeans and a fucking sweatshirt. Dudes walk in with this fucking $500
Chomo
shoes and their fucking stupid suits, and I'm like, what the fuck time did I tell you to be here? And he's like, and I have all the patience in the world for the people that I love, regardless, like endless amounts. But bankers, I do not love them whatsoever. And he stepped in, and I was like, what time was the meeting? 4:30. Good. Get the fuck out of my office. And oh, by the way, I'm shifting everything we do to another bank.
And it's
Mom and pop, a guy that fucking...
No, you have to add and it's because of you.
I said that. I said it's because of you.
Your ineptness.
He went to shake my hand. He came up. He's like, "Oh, I'm happy to be here. Get the fuck out of here." And that's exactly what I said. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like,
I was just in the hallway with the hatchet, like,
he seriously was.
oh, hi.
So if you guys ever come to Salt Lake City, we have a building up there. We have like all of our offices like set up in line. His is fucking super organized, and all the way down to like my office, which has a full-blown, like, what is it, like 15 by 15
No,
portrait.
that's a 22-foot wide.
It's a
portrait.
22-foot fucking wall with Washington crossing the fucking Delaware
On Christmas
because-
Eve. On Christmas Eve.
On Christmas Eve, because what we're doing, and no inspirational fucking horse shit. It's like what we do is we cross the Delaware every fucking day, which is we swallow our pride, we shove fucking fear in a box, and we waterboard the shit out of it, and we cross the Delaware and we do what the fuck needs to be done, right? So as a community, I mean, vets, right? Vets, lots of us, amen, right? So what we do is like stuff that fucking fear in a box, man. There's no excuses. Cross the Delaware and do what needs to be done. There's no fear.
I would graciously like to thank Mr. TJ Lavin for taking the time out of his day to be here with us tonight.
Well, thank you guys so much,
and
man. It
talk
was
with us.
awesome.
We hope you had a blast.
It was badass, dude. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
We thank all
Thank
you
you,
guys
guys.
for coming out
Thank
for
you for
this.
coming out.
Seriously, thank you so much
Thanks for coming, guys.
And now we get to have the fun part where we just drink
Let's
and hang
fucking
out.
drink.
Ask Evan lots of
That
questions.
is it for Baker Levitt, the big bald baby, Evan
Fat
Hafer,
mouth.
TJ Lavin, and JT. This is Black-Hearted.
Black Rifle Coffee Company, along with Arson Wave, would like to thank you for tuning in to Black-Hearted. Have a great fucking day.